Hi. I don't know what it's like in your neck of the woods, but we are having thunder cracks and lightning strikes and rain. And in fact, one of the thunder cracks was so loud we had a power surge. So if the lights go off, you know what's going on. It is a horrible, dreadful gray day here. So in my little chocolate brown snuggie with teddy bear and watching movies on the computer, and I just wanted to make that video that I promised you. So here we go. Oh, all right. This video will be brought to you by three things. One, the giant zit on my chin from the makeup that needs to go away by morning. I've already put medicine on it, so it had better be gone because I have a show tomorrow. Anti-Vaxxers and Mike Huckabee. Okay. So one, as I said, I have a show tomorrow, so this should be gone by morning. Take care of that. But I have a show tomorrow, and it starts promptly at 9:30, so don't be late. Hope to see you all there. Two, anti-vaxxers. I know it's been a lot in the news, so I'm just going to touch on it briefly. Anti-vaxxers, screw you. And here's why I say that. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. Your personal choices should not affect everyone else. Your personal choices does not mean that you get to put other people's lives at risk. You do not get to bring your unimmunized child into the herd and affect those that have bone marrow transplants, Hodgkin's disease, cancer, and suppressed immune systems. You don't get to put other people's lives at risk. So, screw you. Oh, and Sean Hannity, fuck you. Fuck you for saying that you don't trust Obama with to tell you about vaccinations. Fuck you. We have been vaccinating since the 1800s. It has nothing to do with the president, the same way that gas prices doesn't have anything to do with the president, except in relation to our foreign policy. But as a general rule, the president doesn't have anything to do with that. So fuck you for trying to, racist bastard, you trying to start bullshit. Go have a seat. Anti-vaxxers, screw you. Vaccinate your damn child. I'm all for that new law that says that your child has to be vaccinated or you don't get into school. That's how it was when I went to school, and that's how it should be now. You don't live in this society by yourself, and your personal decisions should not affect anyone else. So, fuck off. Ooh, okay, so now, Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee, and I'm going to make sure that I quote him correctly. Let's just start with, why is it that when you hear politicians or Christians or Christian leaders, when they want to talk about gays, they talk about gay sex? They think about gay sex more than I think about gay sex. And I promise you that I think an awful lot about gay sex. They're always talking about it. Isn't that weird? You know, things that bother me, I don't tend to, unless directly asked, I don't make my argument about how much I hate broccoli. You don't see me going around talking about how much I hate broccoli and condemning the broccoli, council. And unless you directly ask me how I feel about broccoli, or I can smell you cooking it, then I don't really, just saying. Generally, when you don't like something, you don't pontificate about it. But apparently, Mike Huckabee does. Mike Huckabee said that gay marriage offends Christians the same way that Muslims think dogs are unclean. Oh, what? Mike, what? First of all, that sentence makes absolutely no sense, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care what the Muslims think about dogs, right? I don't understand what that has to do with anything. Secondly, you are confusing gay marriage and matrimony. Gay marriage is a right afforded to everyone born in this country. It is an inalienable right, and if you pay taxes, you're entitled to it. Sorry. You're confusing marriage with matrimony. Marriage is a civil contract. Your marriage license between two grown people, two people over the age of 18, two people who can sign a legal document, and you can have that marriage at the Justice of the Peace, in a park, on a mountaintop, or at a beach in Hawaii, and it's legal. And you get all of the rights and responsibilities that come with that. Matrimony is a ceremony performed in a church, and it is not legal without the marriage license. See, you don't get to say, well, God says I'm married. God said so. You don't get any rights and responsibilities for that. You don't get any tax credit or survivor benefits or SSI or inheritance because God said so. You get all of those things because the government says so. So don't confuse marriage and matrimony. So whatever you think about gay marriage, first of all, it's not gay marriage. They don't have gay sex on the altar. It's just marriage. Whatever you think about marriage between two men or two women makes no difference. Your opinion doesn't count. You don't pay my taxes. If you want to pay my taxes, then you are allowed to have an opinion about what the hell I do with my rights and responsibilities afforded to me by the government. Otherwise, shut the hell up. Have several seats. Secondly, why is it that when pastors, preachers, rabbis want to talk about gay people, all they ever remember is Leviticus 18:20? Why is that the only verse? Now, Mike, you specifically said that your comment was based on biblical principles. Okay, well, let's talk about biblical principles. The biblical principle that you referenced is the man shall not lie with man. Man shall not lie with man as with a woman, for is an abomination. Right? Okay, I'll give you that. It says it. I mean, there are lots of books that say lots of things. But let's just go with that. That's your biblical principle that you're quoting. Okay, well, what about all the other biblical principles? What about the biblical principle that in Leviticus 11, that you're not allowed to eat anything out of the ocean that doesn't have fin or scales? So you're telling me that thousands of years before the Bible was written, or Christians were created, an entire Asian population is going to hell because they eat octopus and shrimp and lobster and clams and mussels and sea urchin, and they automatically got to go to hell because they didn't even know you're Christ and they existed before? Okay. But you don't have any problem going to Red Lobster, right? Oh, but it's not that biblical principle? Okay. Let me see. Hey, what about that one where you get to rape and it's okay if you rape someone unless you get caught, and then you have to either pay a fine or marry her? Oh, wait, not that biblical principle? Okay. What about that biblical principle about the woman on a menstrual cycle? She has to leave the village for 7 days, and anything she touches has to be set on fire, and if she comes back early, she gets stoned to death? Oh, wait, not that biblical principle? Okay. What about that one about you can't touch the skin of a pig or eat swine, for it's an abomination? Oh, not that biblical principle? Okay. What about that one about wearing garments of mixed fibers, so that cotton poly blend? That's an abomination. Oh, no. So no, not that biblical principle. Okay. What about that planting crops in the same field? Oh, you don't have a problem going to the grocery store and buying vegetables that are grown in the same field or genetically modified? Oh, you don't. So not that biblical principle. Well, what about that one where it says, judge not lest ye be judged, or, not that one either? Okay. Well, what about that one that if thine enemy hunger, give him drink, and if he thirsty, give him drink, if he hunger, give him food, for in doing so shall heap upon the coals upon his head? Oh, wait, not that one either? What about that one where the angels and the thing that you've done for the least that you've done for the poor, you've done for me? Oh, not that one either. So which biblical principles is it, Mike? Which biblical principles are you living your life by? Just 18:20? Interesting. You know, it's awfully funny that that's the only Bible verse, a biblical principle you can remember. Think you have a problem. The problem is that you're not a good Christian. You're not even an okay Christian. You're you're a terrible Christian. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the first six letters of Christian is Christ, the person you're supposed to be following, and you're doing a horrible job. None of what you said and none of what you stand for is even remotely like the biblical character of Christ. Shame on you, Mike. And to be quite honest, fuck you. I don't care what you think anymore. No, actually, I never have cared what you think. But you get airtime, and that's what bothers me, is that people are giving you airtime, and you're a hateful, horrible person. All right, guys, it's 11 minutes. This video is 11 minutes. That's really long. I was trying to keep it short, but love you all. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow at my show. Don't be late. And it's time for muffins and movies, and bye.